Today is the morning of Easter Sunday, and I'm going to have a Davidoff Grand Cru number 2. I decided to pair it with a Steel Austin because it's a very soft and mild bourbon. The Grand Cru number 2 is a very mild cigar, so if I pair it with a Scotch or a strong bourbon, it's going to overwhelm it. So I chose a very mild and soft bourbon, a very smooth one like the Steel Austin, to try to make the best patty. Let's see how it goes. It's a beautiful morning of Easter, and in this morning I'm going to review this Davidoff Grand Cru number 2. So let's see how it goes. I'm in the first third of this Davidoff Grand Cru number 2 cigar. The flavor, as usual, in this kind of cigar is excellent. Upon lighting, you get the fruity note, and that is very typical and unique of the Davidoff cigars, and it's really very, very tasty. You get 3 darsini, a little bit of almonds, and but the fruity note is really the landmark of these cigars, and this one has it, and it's great with every puff. It's a very mild to mild cigar, so it's not going to have like a ton of flavor, but the flavor that it has is delicious and is enough. So I'm going to continue, and I'll do the flavor notes when I finish the second third. But so far, I'm having a good time. I continue to be on the first third of this Davidoff Grand Cru number 2. The flavor profile is very mild, but that is to be expected. Like, if you know anything about this cigar, is that is one of his characteristics is a Dominican tobacco with a very mild flavor profile. And what I did is that I prepare myself, and the day before and the previous days, I smoke very mild cigars. I see reviews of people that say, "Oh, I couldn't get any flavor," but in reality, if you your previous cigar or the previous days you smoke very strong flavor cigars, this is definitely going to be a big contrast. But I had very mild cigars the previous days, and I'm able to get all the flavors on this one. And it is a very nice flavor profile, very elegant. Now that with up you can see that the burn is perfectly even, and the draw is perfect. It was a little bit tight at the beginning, but then it normalized within seconds. The ashes hold perfectly, so it's an incredibly high quality cigar with a very, very nice flavor. The fruity and the floral notes. The flavor is there. You don't have to be guessing or trying to make an effort to get the flavor. The flavor, you get it right there in every puff, and is strong enough to enjoy it. So I'm going to continue. I'm almost at the end of the first third. I'm at the end of the first third of this Davidoff Grand Cru. The flavor continues to be very nice. The weather is very windy, so let's see how it continues. I continue on the second third of this Davidoff Grand Cru number 2. The flavor intensified a little bit. Now with every puff, you get the delicious fruity and sweet notes, and a little bit of floral. And it became a very, very pleasant experience now. So I'm going to continue and see how it goes. The pairing of the cigar with the Steel Austin is good. The Steel Austin is smooth and it doesn't overwhelm the cigar. I continue on the second third of this Davidoff Grand Cru number 2. And now this is the experience that I remember from previous Davidoff cigars. With every pop, you get the delicious fruity, sweet, floral notes. And it became now a super, super pleasant. Like the flavor is no longer very mild. I would say it's like mild. And to just chill and puff and enjoy the flavor, and it's really nice. So I'll continue, and I'll do the flavor now soon. I am approaching the end of the second third of the cigar. I'm going to have to remove the lower band soon, but now is the typical experience of a Davidoff cigar. Really, really nice flavor at each puff, very relaxing, very pleasant. So I'll continue and I'll do the flavor now soon. So the cigar is the Grand Cru number 2. The brand is Davidoff. The shape is long corona. The size is 5 inches and 5/8, ring is 43. The occasion is Easter Sunday morning. The cost of the cigar is $27, so it's a pricey cigar in general. The manufacturer is Davidoff Group. The manufacturer location is Dominican Republic. The wrapper origin is Ecuadorian Connecticut. The wrapper type color is Colorado Claro. The binder origin is Dominican Republic, and the filler origin is Dominican Republic. It's the first time that I had to fold the book to do this because of the wind. So the body, the flavor, and the strength of the cigar are very mild to mild. At the very beginning, it was very mild, and then it became more like very mild to mild. Then the flavor will, like I said, the characteristic of these cigars is the floral and sweet notes, which are delicious. The fruity notes, and then a little bit of herbal, a little bit of spicy, but very tiny. Then obviously the typical creamy, woody and nutty that most of the Connecticut's have. But it's a very, very pleasant flavor, like Davidoff should be. The appearance of the cigar is a solid 10. It has these very nice 2 bands. The construction of the cigar is also a 10. The draw was slightly tight at the beginning, but it resolved quickly by itself. The flavor of the cigar, I will give it between 8 and 9, simply because it's very mild to mild. The value for the money, I will give it also between 8 and 9, because it is a relatively pricey cigar, and a relatively small size. And then the overall rating, I will give it a 9, because overall the great flavor that it has, the great construction and everything make it a very good experience. I am now in the last third of the cigar, and I'm going to remove the lower band. So the flavor got slightly more concentrated, like it does in the last third of fancy cigars like this one. So that's very nice. So I'm going to continue, and at some point soon I'm going to have to remove the second band. So let's see. You can never overstate how pleasant is the flavor of a Davidoff cigar. I mean, it has these fruity, sweet, floral notes that are just delicious at every puff, and that's what people pay for. That's why this brand is so prestigious, because cigar after cigar it has that, and you just enjoy it and relax, and that's what makes a Davidoff. So I continue enjoying that, and I'll remove the lower band soon. You can see now that as we pass 10 a.m. and start getting into like 10:30, the water starts turning more turquoise. So it's a nice morning. I've seen some Cessna airplanes going by. So it's a little windy, but other than that, it's a very pleasant morning. I continue on the last third of this Davidoff Grand Cru number 2, and I'm going to remove the band now. I'll remove the band of this Davidoff Grand Cru number 2, but you can see that the burn remains perfectly even. The ashes hold perfectly, even with the wind. and the flavor remains delicious. So I'll continue and I'll let you know how it goes. The sun came out and look now at this view. It's now sunny, pleasant, warm, and beautiful, and the color of the water is amazing. So it's really a nice morning to have a cigar, fancy cigar like this. I continue in the last third of this Grand Cru number 2 from Davidoff. I have maybe a quarter of an inch left. The flavor continues to be more concentrated, so it's just puff and chill at this point and having a good time. I'm almost at the end of the last third of this cigar, and you can see that until the end the burn remains even, the ashes hold, everything remains perfect. I'll have a few puffs and probably I'll be done with this cigar. So I'm about to throw this cigar away. I have less than an inch left. One thing about the Davidoffs is that they don't get super hot, so you can smoke until the very last. Total smoking time was 1 hour and 12 minutes, which for this size of cigar and even in very windy conditions, it is very reasonable. So I really recommend it.